Let me gather myself for just a minute. Whew, I just snorted. First of all, before I get started on my speech, thank you. I would like to just say thank you to each and every person out here who has meant so much to each of us.
That sucks.
I'm gonna start crying before I read the speech. Each and every one of you, none of this would have been possible without all of you guys. And so I want to extend my thanks to each and every one of you, the Bussies for making it possible, to my fellow warriors who have just been awesome the past 2 years. I see growth in every one of you, and I pray that that growth continues. It doesn't just stop here. Okay. Warrior. A person engaged or experienced in warfare. A soldier. I think all of us Railton apprentices can say that after this year, we've been engaged in war. Whether it means developing a program from the ground up or entering into a well-established program with multiple staff positions, we've all experienced warfare. I would like to focus on the experience in warfare, though. In my year on the field, I've become more experienced, and it's my hope that as I continue on there, I'll become even more experienced. An experienced warrior knows 3 things that are central to the battle. He knows who he is fighting for, who he is fighting against, and who he is fighting with. Every warrior either has a country who he is fighting for, or maybe even a circumstance. Nobody goes into a fight and has no allegiance. In the movie Braveheart, it's a shout out to Matt, he loves that movie. In the movie Braveheart, William Wallace fights for his native Scotland, but even more, he fights for freedom. We as Salvationists have a similar fight. Sure, we are fighting for God's kingdom, but we are also fighting for freedom, for the freedom of souls. It is our goal to help those held captive by sin break those chains, and by God's strength, to experience the freedom that is given. Second, we need to remember who we are fighting against. 1 Peter 5:8 says, "Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy the devil prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour." This is the enemy we are fighting against, an enemy who is constantly on the prowl. Our job, like Sharon told us in class, is to stand at the gates of hell and reach in and grab those who are struggling in the fire. We may get burned a little bit, but I'd like to say it's worth it if just one soul is saved. It may sound a bit radical, but the early Salvationists were just that. Finally, we need to know who we are fighting the battle with. I can think of a bunch of great times with my amazing classmates. For example, all the laughing that we all did at me and Matt when we had our Get to the Chapel song. Or all of the bad cartwheels that Allison did for us. Or Brenna falling out of vans multiple times. Or I'm also reminded of the times we had at Rita's. Or having Andrew cook for us in the cafe. Or all the times Kiki choreographed our not my dances, the girls' dances. and the dramas that were happening. All those times are times that I cherish. Times I'll never forget. And I thank each and every one of you for those experiences. And I thank the Bussies for making it all possible, and for accepting each and every one of us through much prayer and deliberation. And I thank you guys for making it happen, and for Allison and Erica partnering with all of you guys. This experience has just been incredible, and I thank you for that. Each of you hold a dear place in my heart. And I was blessed enough to have a strong army fight right next to me, so when I fell, they could pick me right up. And Catherine Booth said, "If the hearts of the Christians of this generation were inspired with this spirit, meaning love, and set on winning the world for God, we should soon see nations shaken to their core, and millions of souls translated into the kingdom." Last year, I had the privilege of studying with these 5 warriors, and we had our struggles, but we overcame them. We had our conflicts, but they were resolved. A person doesn't just become a warrior, you see. They go through training, and Railton certainly prepared us for a very intense battle that is coming up. In our first month at Railton, we read about William Booth's vision of the lost. He describes how many people are drowning in a vast ocean, but there is a dock. And on this dock, there are a few people. And the majority of actually the picture is right up there. You can see it. I lost my spot. On this dock, there are a few people. The majority of these people are caught up in their own things instead of rescuing the people that are drowning at sea. Maybe they're working, or they're hanging out with friends, or they're playing an instrument. This vision, when we were reading about it, it burdened each and every one of us. It's amazing how the words of a man who has been dead for so long can impact us in the here and now, right? I'm reminded of how on fire each of us were after we read about that vision. And we wanted to be those people that were reaching in and grabbing those people that were drowning. We wanted to help others experience the victory that comes through Christ. However, it started with us. So not long after we read about this vision, we went to Boston for the Holiness Advance. And that Sunday, we went to Worcester, Massachusetts, and we did the Sunday service there. And Hope, leading up to the service, she was extremely nervous, but she had very good reason. She was doing something she'd never done before. So when the time came, she got up, and after a brief pause, she gave her testimony. The room was full of people. There were people standing in the back as there were no seats available, and it was awesome. It was awesome. There's no other word to describe it. And we were all so proud of her, and the impact of that testimony inspired us throughout the rest of the year. We truly believed the words written in Scripture, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." We saw these victories again and again, and I'm reminded of a certain time when a bunch of kids gave their lives to Christ for the first time in Spring Valley. Afterwards, 2 of the kids came up to me, and they were asking me all these questions about the Bible and Jesus, and were really wanting to know these answers for them, you know? They wanted to really experience these answers for themselves. In our 1 year at the school, and throughout our apprenticeships, the challenges that we faced were all getting us ready for this moment, to send us out into the world as warriors. So my challenge for my fellow apprentices is this: keep fighting the good fight with all your might. Don't let up. Don't hold back, because our enemy isn't. Know that each one of you are not fighting alone. You not only have God on your side, but you have each other. You have everybody here. As we go our separate ways, some to stay as youth workers, some to go to officership, some to pursue other options, know that you go as a Railton graduate. And the time that you spent in this program was all preparation for a larger battle. Know that you go a warrior.